And here we are again with Conscious Conversations, and I have Trudy Kuipers back with me again from Amsterdam. Hi, Trudy.
Hi, Maddie. How are
Oh,
you?
I'm great, thank you. How are you?
I'm so good because of the topic.
Oh,
I just love
yes.
to talk about singing. Yeah.
Yes, we're going to talk about singing. Actually, ask me again, how am I?
How are you?
I've never had it so good. This is the best day of my life.
Ah,
I love saying that to people. It's just for fun. Why not?
yeah.
I have got our angel prayer set up for us, and because we're going to be talking about singing today, I thought that the angel prayer called Stay in Tune with All would work well.
Yeah.
Staying in tune. I know it's a bit cheesy, but hey, it's
I
relevant,
love
right?
cheesy. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is for us and for everyone else that's listening. Listen and stay in tune with love melodies in your heart each day. Be happy and joyous in listening to your heart with complete gratitude. There are no mountains high enough that you cannot climb, as your faith in our love gives you strong wings to soar. Your connection with and belief in angels changes your life daily, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, as you open your heart to receive divine love and guidance. Rejoice! Love from our angel hearts is coming to you like a swollen river, overflowing its banks to water your heart's needs and your soul with faithful promise to provide glorious passageways for your journey on earth. Abundance flows in our river of love and creates a multitude of miracles. Your spirit guides, ascended masters, loved ones in light form collaborate and commune with us each day in pure love devotion, sharing a common mission to reveal your soul's song and purpose. Stay in tune with all of us. Stay in your heart light. Stay in your truth. Stay in your divine feminine and magnificent masculine, aligned by your higher self. Miracles evolve naturally when you stay in tune to all and give gratitude for our guidance, love, and messages. And so it is.
Wow. Beautiful.
Oh, so we're talking about a topic today that we both absolutely love, but we've had our own stories, and that is the topic of singing, and not just singing, but singing in public.
Yeah.
So, what I guess what has been your experience of singing? Like, how much do you love it? How much have you shared it with the world or not?
I've always loved singing, I guess. Because if I drive a car, if I'm on a motorcycle, and every time I feel happy and I'm alone, I actually start singing.
Alone,
So if
alone.
I'm alone,
Yeah.
that's the key word.
Mm.
Yeah. um, but actually, I wanted to do a lot more with singing, but I've always been scared to do that in front of other people. And I did want to join a choir or something like that. But for every choir, you have to do audition, so that was a major um, a block to not do
Obstacle.
that. Yeah. So in 2015, I did start to take class lessons,
Mm-hmm.
and I loved it. Well, after about when the course of 8 lessons finished, I started loving it.
Uh-huh.
Because at first it was in a class with 3 other people,
Uh-huh.
and that was just scary as hell.
Mm.
Yeah.
And,
So it
and
took a while.
what do you think it is about it that is so scary?
Because you really show yourself.
Is
There's
it
no
showing,
hiding.
right? But do you think, is it showing yourself? Is it showing yourself because of how your voice sounds and it's so bearing your soul? Or is it that you worry that people are going to think you don't sound very good? Or is it both?
Both. Yeah.
Yeah. So for
Yeah.
me, I went through drama school, I went through acting school in New York where we all had to sing as well as even though it was a
Yeah.
state acting course, we all had to sing. And I remember the day where we all had to get out one by one in front of a room full of people, maybe 40 people, and I was absolutely terrified.
It's
And
different from acting.
oh yes,
Yeah.
I felt so terrified, and the thing I think that upset me the most was I love to sing, and I wanted my voice to come out, and for myself not to feel nervous, but I was so nervous at the time that my voice was so shaky, and it just
Yeah.
wasn't, to me, I was judging it so much, it wasn't sounding right, and I got so upset, and I was really hard on myself back then, and I just
Yeah.
felt like, oh, so I really relate to how scary it is when
Yeah.
and when you watch TV shows like X Factor or America's Got Talent, and you see these people putting themselves out there and they're bearing their soul, and
Yeah.
it's
And young people, like, oh my God, how do you do that?
to be judged. I know.
Yeah.
So I have to share that when you actually, so you had a few lessons and you obviously love singing, and when you actually shared some of your clips of recordings of your voice and your singing songs with us, like our tribe, we were all blown away by your voice. And I was like, oh my gosh, Trudy is such a rock chick. This is incredible. So
Yeah.
after you shared these clips with us and you got that feedback, how did you feel?
Um, well, it's always amazing to get such feedback. But I think right now I'm at the stage where I know I can sing.
You can.
I just
Yeah.
know I can sing, and of course you can debate, how good I am technically or not, but I've had feedback so many times of, there's something with how your voice sounds. It's something typical. I like it. It's like, if I sing, it's not like any other voice.
Mm,
And I've had that quite a few times now. So,
yeah.
but
And
it's still, it doesn't matter because it's scary as hell to send it anything. That remains the same.
I
Yeah.
find it so fascinating because when you were singing, like you're very drawn to like rock music, like
Yeah.
rock. It's amazing because when you hear someone singing, and again, it happens a lot when you watch it on TV, when someone opens their mouth and starts singing, you have sometimes no idea what like that came from that person. And
Yeah.
it's a whole different side to your personality. For me,
Yeah.
anyway, when I heard it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is
Oh,
a whole different side of Trudy. This is amazing.
yeah. And I haven't heard you sing, so I haven't heard the other side of you yet. So I'm curious about that as well.
Yeah, that's true. I ended up sharing some recordings of me singing like Krishna Das mantras,
Yeah.
very safe for me.
It was
So,
beautiful. Yeah.
but I haven't even shared, the like songs. And the interesting thing is, I do love to sing, but
Yeah.
I don't know that I have a specific genre. Like I used to be drawn really towards like jazzy type stuff because my voice is a little bit deeper,
Yeah.
like jazzy
Oh,
vocals.
oh, I
Um,
can hear that with you. Yeah.
but
Definitely.
But then also, I'm a massive Joni Mitchell fan, and I love folk music as well. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's interesting. I joined a choir when I was back in Glasgow, waiting for my green card to come through, and I loved it. And it had been a long time since I'd been in a choir because the last time I was in a choir was at school when I was probably about 10 years old. So that was really fun, and it was really hard work with all the different harmonies, with all the different people. There was about maybe 100 people in that choir.
Wow.
It was really big. And I also had singing lessons a number of times in my life from different people. And I definitely felt my confidence building when
Yeah.
I had lessons, probably like you.
Yeah.
And just the fact that you're training your voice, so it's getting stronger at the higher end and it's getting maybe more solid at the lower end. But it's
Yeah.
definitely a great thing to have voice lessons, singing lessons.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I think I've done four. I started in 2015 and I've had lessons until 2019 in different groups. And I've
Mm,
been on two separate holidays in France, just singing the entire week. Um, and it's just two things that you learn the technicalities, but also like just doing, opening up, have the
yes.
experience. But I think what was so important for me just to have that to have that safe environment
Hmm.
with a wonderful teacher who
Mm.
just taught me that you're learning. There's no right or wrong.
Yes, I love that. And not only is there no
Yeah.
right and wrong, it is art, it's
Yes.
self-expression. And
Yeah,
so it's exactly the same. It's like someone's going to love your voice, someone's not. And it's just,
absolutely.
it's your own self-expression. There's no right or
Mm.
wrong. And we forget that because we're so, I think it is one of the most soul-bearing, exposing things to do. And yet it comes so naturally to us when we're in the shower, we're in the car, we sing, and it reminds me of that. Do you know, did you ever watch the movie My Best Friend's Wedding?
Ooh.
Julia Roberts and Cameron Diaz were in it. And
Oh, I'm not sure.
oh, okay, well, Cameron Diaz sings at, I think, at her best friend's wedding, and her voice is like it's meant to be off tune. Like it's just meant
Yeah,
to be. It's meant to be really bad because she
I've
stands up.
seen it. Yeah,
Yeah, she
yeah.
stands up and
I
she's this
remember.
beautiful, beautiful woman, and then she starts singing, and it sounds so awful, but it's funny. It's a funny thing
Yeah,
because she's a
yeah,
comedian. But again, it's like the fact that, again, if you've got some people that just don't care, they just get up and sing
yeah.
anyway and have fun.
And there's so much fun in that as well. Yeah,
Yes.
just do it. Who cares?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and just have fun with it. I think
yeah,
the most painful to watch is when it's like someone like singing and trying so hard and feeling so nervous, then everyone else would feel that nervousness.
yeah,
So it is definitely all about having fun. And
yeah.
you've just reminded me when you said on holiday. I remember the times that when I first started doing karaoke, like way, way many years ago, the only time I would ever do it was either if I was in another country and no one
Yeah,
would know me, or if I had a few drinks.
yeah. If we ever meet in real life, we are so going to do karaoke.
So doing karaoke. We will be in real life. We have
Yeah,
to. Oh, it's amazing that we
absolutely.
haven't. And so when you said that you went away with friends for a week and you were singing, did you mean
Yeah,
like on an actual singing holiday or was it just like
yeah.
doing karaoke?
No, it was with the same teacher I already had, and she
Oh,
organizes these holidays in France,
oh,
and they're just wonderful. And
so,
it's an entire week with 8 different people, two singing, two teachers
hmm,
who both came from Finland, actually.
wow.
They live in Holland now, but they're both Finnish.
Uh-huh.
So they talk Finnish together sometimes, which is really
Right.
funny. Okay, off topic, but two great people, and we just had so much fun. And you really create this atmosphere with that entire group during that week because everyone is so exposed because you
Oh,
cannot fake it. You
mm.
cannot fake singing, and you're in front of that group and you're showing yourself. And actually, everyone is nervous as hell, so they're also okay with you being nervous, and it's okay that you're there anyway,
Do you
just doing
know,
it.
that would be an amazing thing to do, to go on like a singing retreat. I've never
Yeah,
heard of that before.
yeah.
So you would all sing together, but not necessarily out, but maybe like take classes together during the day, or were you actually singing out loud in like the streets or in a bar in front of other people as well?
No, it's well, everything actually. It's like during the day you have these classes, and you also learn from each other,
Oh,
and everyone, you do your homework in front, before you go there. And so
hmm,
you have a couple of songs that you're working on, and
hmm.
your teacher is asking you, okay, what do you want to learn today? And it's
Wow.
you telling them, okay, I want to sing this song, and these are the difficulties I have with it.
Mhm.
And they're just encouraging you to not play it safe and just do something crazy and just
Oh,
try what happens, see what happens.
oh,
And
that's so cool.
yeah, and at the end of the week, um, we sang for also people from other groups that were also there doing
Uh-huh.
yoga or whatever, painting.
Hmm.
And then we would sing individually for all those people, like 60 people,
Hmm.
and the song that you want to perform. And we also had one song as a group.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, which is just such a great way to end that week because
Yes.
it's such a safe and fun environment. And yeah,
Absolutely. And you know, in my own experience, there is nothing more beautiful and connecting than singing in a room full of people
absolutely.
where everyone's singing the same song. And you
Yeah.
know, I had that experience in Edinburgh one New Year, Hogmanay, and it was in a pub and everyone was probably drunk. But I remember my sister and I were in a pub in Edinburgh, and everyone was singing the song Wonderwall by Oasis. And
Oh
everyone knew all
yeah,
the words. And it was just like the whole bar was singing together. And it's just a memory that will always stick with me because it was so unexpected. And it's just like the
yeah.
song came on and everyone was singing together. And it just feels so good. And also when you're in a choir, it just feels so good when you've got all these voices and harmonies. I love
Mm.
harmonizing. I think I think actually harmonizing is one of my favorite parts of singing. I love that.
I love to listen to it, but I find it so hard.
To harmonize.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
I was actually going to say another thing that you reminded me of is that so in acting I always felt so much more comfortable doing improv where I had to like think on my feet and just like walk on stage and just come up with stuff that maybe the audience
yeah,
gives me or the other people in the group that we'd work together, and I wasn't having the stress of having to remember lines.
yeah,
And the same thing with singing. I remember doing this group, it was a workshop in California. So it was probably maybe about 4 or 5 years ago. And there was a whole bunch of us. And I think the man's name might have been Michael Stillwater, something like that. And he would play the guitar and we would just make something up in time to what he was playing. So he would just play like very simple like chords or strings on the guitar, and each person had a chance to make sound or whether it was ooh or ah, and then just
yeah,
start making up words and singing along to what he was playing, and we didn't know what was going to come up. And I
yeah,
absolutely loved that. I thought because it was kind of like the poet in me would come out and I was just kind of improvising, and I really, really enjoyed that because you could just wing it. I
yeah.
really enjoy,
I
yeah.
think I've got the exact opposite.
Oh, really? Yeah. I
Yeah,
think a lot of people do find improv and making it up on the spot really scary, but
yeah,
I think that's a very personal thing. So you're happier learning a song and knowing the words and then
yeah,
preparing that.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think that's probably very common. I
Yeah,
think
I think if someone puts me on the stop, I just block. It just nothing happens. Yeah,
right. Nothing happens. I just completely clam up. Oh
yeah,
wow. So
yeah.
what would you say your obstacles are? I mean, in terms of like when the teacher says, what would you like to work on? What are the things that you feel that you need more strength in the areas of singing?
Mm. Ooh, I haven't sang in a while. I'd have to think about that. Well, usually it's just the like the usual stuff, higher notes, lower notes, um, just having um, your breath.
Hmm.
Uh, oh my God, I forgot all the terms.
Like with your
You don't
diaphragm.
want to hold your breath. You don't want to
Hmm.
hold your breath, but you do. You want to have it under control.
Yes.
So that's really important with everything. And
Yeah.
it's like every time I just feel like I have to do that all over again, just return to the basics. And I think for people who sing their entire lives, that might still be true. Just go back
Yeah.
to the basics every time.
Yes.
Uh, but I love just playing around, like just try grunting or like I don't know, like weird stuff.
Grunting. Ugh.
Yeah,
I love
you know,
that. That's so funny.
whatever. Just try something which I haven't done before, and
Yeah.
uh,
Oh, that's
just playing
wonderful.
around. Yeah,
Yeah.
and just
I
and I think the hardest thing for me was play around with the beat.
hmm.
That was the hardest thing because
Mhm.
yeah, I think I've got my natural way of singing, and just to do it differently, that's yeah. I
Yeah, actually, I do when I've seen live singers and they're playing with just like an acoustic guitar or a
mm,
piano, and maybe even unrehearsed, like if you're at a jazz festival and people just get up and start jamming, to be able to actually sing along to someone accompanying you. I always wondered, like, and there'll be people on here maybe that are listening to this that are like, no, that's not right. But is it that you're leading them because you're the singer, or are they leading you because they're the musician? Because the accompaniment, I would think it's there to support your voice, but then
yeah,
I would be kind of like, in my untrained way, I'd probably be like waiting for them to hear what's next instead of going with it and trust that they're going to accompany you as you sing.
I think it's probably what you how you arranged it with the people with them. Yeah, but I'm used to singing with a backing track, so not with live music. I've only sang with live music once, really, and once like in a jam session.
Right.
So
Did you
actually
enjoy
just
that?
twice. Oh my god.
No.
Scary as hell.
Well, that's what I mean when I'm talking about
it's different. It's so different from a backing track. So, you know, I can sing with a backing track, but real singing with a band is so entirely different. So, and in that way, it's, you know, I can sing, but actually I can't. It feels like that for me.
Like if you're just showing up and you're like have an audition, or yeah, you might give them a page of sheet music, but you might not have played with these musicians before, and that's what I mean. Like it's if you're just showing up for the first time and playing along with someone that's playing with you, but you've not actually rehearsed it, then it's so interesting to hear.
Yeah. At the same time, something really interesting can happen.
Yeah.
But what's your experience with that?
My experience is that I guess for me, if I've played, like when I'm kind of improvising and singing along or playing along, then to someone that's playing along, then I really enjoy it because it's just totally unrehearsed, it's unprepared. I don't have time to get nervous. I think that's the whole thing, the build up for me. I remember I was singing at a friend's wedding once, and I was absolutely terrified as the moment was like coming up, and it was like, oh my gosh, it's 7 p.m. and I'm supposed to be singing to them at 8 p.m. and it's like 7:30 and I'm like, oh my God, this is so scary. But you know, then when I did it, once I actually had centered myself, which is now very connected to meditation, which I think is why I feel a lot more grounded now in my life, because back then I wasn't meditating. And so my breath, the breathing and the feeling grounded,
difference.
Completely different. So then I didn't have that. I didn't have that behind me, that support in my breath and in my diaphragm. So, but I remember singing at my friend's wedding, and I sang this song that I'd made up all the words to. And when I sang it, like the beginning, I was really nervous, but then actually getting into it, I lost myself and I just really started loving it. And that's the place that I really love. It's like, and it was always the same with acting for me. Like once I was on stage, I was absolutely fine. I felt like I was flying. But the
it's like you're in the zone or something.
Yeah. But like even like a day before or moments before, the waiting, the anticipation, it was just too much. It's so scary.
Yeah. But it's like the same thing for me. I did prepare. I learned how to prepare for singing for a live audience, and at the same time, I've done Tai Chi for half a year, and that also helped me tremendously.
Yeah,
you know, just like focusing on my feet on the ground and how my feet feel on the ground instead of focusing on, oh, don't get scared, don't get scared, don't get scared. You know, that doesn't happen.
And that's all ego anyway. It's us judging ourselves as we're singing and worrying. And it's like, who cares? Just do it. And if people don't like it, they don't like it. But it's such an ego thing.
It's not about you. It's not about me. Yeah. It's
about
the song.
Yes. And you know, one of my favorite things of any homework that I've ever had to do in my life, I always loved and valued the vocal warm-ups, like the scales and all the things that you would do in the singing lessons before you got to the song. I absolutely loved that part because I could literally feel my voice getting stronger, like a warm-up, like doing, you know, before aerobics. It's the same thing. So I always used to record these parts of my singing lessons, and I don't think I have any other part of my singing lessons over the years where I'm actually singing a song, but I've got a bunch of different vocal warm-ups that I can do the scales to the piano, you know, and that's really helpful. Now it's just a case of singing in my apartment and hoping that the neighbors don't mind if I'm doing the scales really loudly.
But are there any songs that you're currently singing for yourself, or
No, actually, I've really not been focusing on singing like that
Yeah,
for a while. I'd really have to think about it because there are definitely some songs that I would love to look into, but
yeah,
I haven't. It's just not been on my radar because I've been so focused on writing and I've been so
yeah,
focused on like doing healing and doing my card readings. It's just not been, between singing and painting, which is what we talked about the other night,
yeah, yeah,
painting. These two things are things I absolutely love doing, but I need to consciously set aside time and commit myself to actually do it. And
yeah,
I haven't really been thinking about these two things until just this last week. So that's why I really wanted to talk to you about singing and after hearing your voice. And also, we were talking about painting. It's just arts, the arts. It's such an
yeah.
amazing way for your self expression.
Yeah, and
So,
if it's something that you love so much and it's entirely missing from your life,
mm.
that's just really you notice that, and it could be for a few months, but if that's running up to a few years, then it's not
Yes.
you there anymore. It's something's really missing.
You're absolutely right. It's so interesting. We get so caught up with just life and making things happen and what we have to do and I've been coming away from that whole mindset during the coronavirus. I've actually been really restructuring my life to how I want to live and the things I want to do. And I've been so busy, like busier than normal. And
Mm,
and even to add in singing and painting now is like,
yeah.
wow, I would need to rearrange things to fit
How?
that in. But I
Yeah.
love the idea. I love it because it's just, I sang and I painted and I made things all through my childhood. Oh, there's your wee cat.
There's Bob.
Every time I see your cat or someone's cat on the side, I'm like, oh, what is that? Oh, what's his name
Yeah,
again?
Bob.
Bob.
He's named after Bob Marley.
Really?
Yeah, we got
Wow.
him from the how do you call it? The cat asylum? I don't know how you call it in
Yeah.
English.
Shelter?
The shelter, yeah. And he just had these dreadlocks.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. And then you
His
cut them
name
all
was
off.
Vincent, Vincent for a cat. That's a bit weird. So we named him Bob.
Vincent, I like that. I think that's funny. Vince. I think
Yeah,
human names for animals are really, really cute, really adorable.
yeah. We just think he's a Bob.
Oh yeah, hey,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Would he let you touch him? Like, would you be able to pick him up right now?
No, right now.
Like, if you hold him, will he let you? Oh, he just meowed. Oh, oh,
I
oh, he's
don't.
gorgeous. Do you know, I've never ever been a cat person. I've never had a cat, but as I'm, I think as I'm now really into my
Mm,
dog and I love
hmm
dogs, it's kind of opened me up to all animals. And I could see myself having a cat now as well. After this conscious conversation, I'm going to actually start really thinking about the songs that I want to sing, and I'm going to just put a few together and just start practicing them, and then maybe we can sing together. Maybe we can just like
Yeah.
find a song that we both might be able to do, and maybe I can
Over Zoom.
harmonize. Huh?
In Zoom.
Yeah, and Zoom. Listen, loads of musicians are zooming and playing
Yeah.
together. It's
Why not?
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what is it that you look for in a song? When does is it the lyrics? Is it the feeling? Is it the rhythm? The
All of it. I think the
Okay.
number one thing for me actually would probably be the lyrics. Funnily enough, I want to be singing words that actually mean something to me. But then there's also, um, I think pace and pitch are a big one for
Yeah.
me. Like, I'm not going to choose a song that's very, very high, like uh, in my head voice.
Mm,
Is it head voice? Yeah, I'm not. I don't want to sing something that's going to really make me sing very high. So I
yeah.
usually like things that are kind of in the middle, but that's quite safe. That's very safe for me. Um, so I kind of like that's why I think things like jazz can be really fun because you can go up and then you can go down, and it's like a
Yeah.
staircase, and I really
It's
like
really
that.
playful. I can really see that with you.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's also really scary because it's so technical. And if you have like, again, if I forget the technical and I just sing for fun, then yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But there's so many phenomenal jazz musicians and jazz singers, when you think of people like Amy Winehouse, and there's like my friend, I think I just posted on Facebook, my friend Claire, her niece Kitty from Glasgow is an upcoming jazz singer, young jazz singer.
Oh,
She's
wow.
absolutely phenomenal and she sounds incredible, like really earthy and like can go really deep and go really high and amazing. But again, that's my ego because I'm like, oh, comparing, you can't compare
Yeah.
yourself. So, but I do,
Yeah.
I've always been drawn to like jazzy type songs because of the pitch, because of the pace, and the words are usually, the lyrics are usually awesome. So,
Yeah.
just really
Yeah.
poetic.
Yeah.
And,
Is there any particular song that you might have in mind?
it's so funny. Like I was watching Breakfast at Tiffany's the other day, and the song Moon River,
Oh, yeah.
which I've actually heard that be done a number of times in different ways. But I really like that kind of slow, sultry, like
Mm.
Moon River. I really like that kind of vibe.
Sinatra vibe.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Um,
Or like a
uh,
song like That's Life.
no, not that
No?
one.
No, that
No,
one. Okay.
no, not for me. No, because I think I would probably go into character mode and be
Ah,
acting out rather than actually enjoying the singing of it. I think you're absolutely right with Sinatra. Like, there's definitely some Sinatra songs that I really love.
yeah.
Um, the in the wee small hours of the morning when the whole
Yeah.
wide world is fast asleep.
Yeah. But it's that slow vibe.
It's like I feel like I want to sing it, but I don't. I'm not going to go there. So it's very like, and yes, it's
Moon
very
River.
slow. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
in the wee small hours of the morning. So that song,
Yeah.
so scary. But yeah, it's so. I love these kind of songs that are kind of slow and a bit jazzy,
Yeah.
and um it just feels natural to me to sing that
Yeah.
kind of way. And also it's funny, I really love Simon and Garfunkel songs.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love all of their songs, and
I
some
like
of
that
them,
they have um like the low and the high.
yes.
Um, how do you call it?
Sound of Silence or The
Oh,
Boxer.
yeah, Sound of Silence.
Is it
That's
is
my
it
favorite.
Yes, or like Cecilia. There's a lot of
Yeah.
great songs by Simon and Garfunkel that I love because I love the harmonies. I love
Yeah,
harmonizing.
yeah, yeah. What I said earlier about the harmonizing, is harmonizing always that that you have different, that one is singing low and the other is singing the other is singing higher? Not
Yes, or
necessarily, right?
yeah, yeah, or a different key, just like maybe a different key where you're singing the
Y-
same at the same time, but you're singing at a different key. So
It
yeah,
is.
one is
Okay,
usually
yeah.
singing higher, maybe
I
one singing
just
lower.
love that sound of,
Yeah, me
yeah, of
too.
harmonizing. Yeah,
And you know why? Again, because it's very connected. It's a very intimate connection, and it's
yeah.
your voices are like one, but you're singing different. And I remember when I was a kid, I learned a lot of Hebrew songs, growing up
Mm.
Jewish in Glasgow, and we learned a lot of Hebrew. I used to learn to read and write Hebrew and sing
Oh,
songs.
wow.
And
Yeah.
so a lot of the songs that I would sing as a kid were in Hebrew, and they were like Israeli folk songs. And my sister and I would harmonize. So we'd learn the same songs and we'd harmonize together. And in
But
my
so you would really sing at home a lot also?
oh, all the time, all the
Oh,
time.
wow. Wow.
Yeah, we used to sing for my grandma and her, like my great uncle, and we used to sing a lot as kids. And
Oh, wonderful.
yeah, and I just remember from that time, in my adult life, I've often recorded a song, a Hebrew song, into my phone, into my iPhone, and then sang the harmony with myself just to have that
Ah,
experience again. Yeah,
yeah.
it's just
Oh,
really fun.
yeah. Oh, I've never done that. I've never even had the idea to do that.
Well, you
Oh,
never
but
know.
that's fun.
It's
Yeah.
a good way to practice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's interesting because I think a lot of the time for me, harmonies just come naturally. Like I can hear
Mm,
where my voice wants to go rather than
yeah.
learn it. it's definitely a very it's a very improvisational thing for me, singing. I
Yeah,
think I need to feel like I can just be free to go wherever my voice wants to go.
yeah, yeah. I do try that in the car, when you just kind of make it your own thing.
Yeah.
But that's, in the car with a tape.
Do you have a favorite car song to sing at the top of your voice, or artist?
Oof, I like Beth Hart a lot.
Uh-huh. I don't know Beth Hart.
She's American, but I think she's more famous in Holland than she's in America.
Oh, I'll have to
But
check
she's
that
like a
out.
blues rock artist.
Okay. So you
And
sing to her when you're driving. Like,
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And
hold on.
I just like drama, like the song from Casino Royale, or the other
Hmm.
James Bond films.
Yeah.
The song from Adele,
Yeah. Oh, Adele.
Skyfall. I
Oh,
love that
yeah.
drama. Yeah, I love
Yeah.
Adele. I love Amy Winehouse.
Mm.
Yeah,
No, I
Chris
do.
Cornell as well, like more
Who?
like Chris Cornell.
Chris Cornell. Hmm.
That's more the rock
Yeah.
side of things. Yeah,
I definitely love Adele songs. They're quite challenging to sing, but
yeah,
I'd be much more likely to sing an Adele song than an Amy Winehouse song. Like, just for that, again, the Amy Winehouse is so unique and so
yeah.
technical for me to listen to, that I think Adele, I can kind of do my own version. But my favorite go-to person in the car is Pink. And
Oh, she's so good.
I
Yeah,
love singing her. I mean, I went to hear her concert and I had to get my hair cut like hers.
she's really good. Yeah,
She's so great. But her songs, again, her voice is so powerful and she can go
yeah,
quite high.
yeah.
I just go for it in the car, but wouldn't even bother trying it outside of the car.
No, definitely.
Oh, wow. Well, Trudy, we're out of time, but this has been so
Yeah,
much fun. I'm really,
we are
really,
going to do karaoke.
yes, for sure. I'm really looking
Yeah,
forward to singing with you sometime.
let me know when you're in Europe.
Oh, you know what? If I could just go like this and be in
Yeah,
Europe, then I would be there. Might be a while before we can fly, but you know what? It will happen.
once.
And
Yeah,
if
once.
not, Zoom.
Yeah,
I'll see you again soon. Thank you so
yeah. Oh, this was
much.
so much fun.
Take
Oh,
care,
have a good
Trudy.
day.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
you too.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.